From the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C.
Good afternoon, everybody, and I'm Mary Jane Deeb, Chief of the African and Middle East Division here at the library. So welcome to the Library of Congress. I'm delighted to see you all here on this very special occasion. Today, we're hosting the Poet Laureate of South Africa, Keorapetse Kgositsile. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, I've tried. We're welcoming him here at the Library of Congress, and this is the home of the Poet Laureate of America, and he's the Poet Laureate of South Africa, so it's wonderful to have him here. This program is part of a series that we launched last October, entitled Conversations with African Writers and Poets. We are three partners in this endeavor: the African section of the African and Middle Eastern Division, the Poetry and Literature Center here at the library, headed by Robert Kasper, and the Africa Society of the National Summit on Africa, whose president and CEO is Bernadette Paulo, and she's here. In a moment, you will hear more from both of them. Suffice is it to say that the three partners have decided to host a series of conversations with established African authors and poets, as well as with young and upcoming literary figures, whose interviews we will tape and make available on our website for everyone to see and use. We started the program with an invitation to Professor Ali Mazrui, one of the most revered scholars on Africa, to share his thoughts with us on the state of African literature. That was last October. This was followed by an interview with Dr. Susan Kiguli, a professor, writer at the University of Uganda. She was here as a presidential fellow with the African Studies Association, and she read her poems and was interviewed for the series. So this will be the third program in this series. The African section in the African Middle East Division organizes numerous programs, book signings, briefings, symposia, lectures, music programs, films on and about Africa for the general public. We see our mandate here at the library not only as acquiring and processing publications and other materials from the continent, but also giving people a better understanding of the life and culture of the more than 50 countries that constitute the region. Today, Laverne Page will interview our honored guest. Laverne is an Africa area specialist in my division and a graduate of Howard and Columbia University, which our honored guest has graduated to and taught at. She's responsible for South Africa, among other countries, and knows the country quite well. She has traveled to it on a number of occasions and visited not only Johannesburg and Cape Town, but also Petersburg, Mafeking, Stellenbosch, Alice, Umtata, Ulundi, and other lesser-known places. So now I think you should hear from another of our partners, and that's Bernadette Paulo, the CEO and President of the Africa Society of the National Summit on Africa. Bernadette.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, all protocols observed. Thank you, Dr. Mary Jane Deeb and Dr. Robert Kasper and Dr. Angel Baptiste and Maddie Laverne Page for ensuring that this global campaign to highlight the academic achievements and literary contributions of African writers and poets continues in 2012. As you've heard, this is our third program, but our goal remains the same, and that is to demonstrate to the world the impact of the continent of Africa's authors and poets. I'm sure that everyone in this enlightened audience recognizes their collective impact, which has been profound, and as I've said before, has permeated the consciousness of scholars and students as it has depicted the realities, cultures, and aspirations of the continent's diverse citizenries. But our numbers are not enough. For millions of others must be cognizant of their talent and the wealth and meaning which lies in their words and in their works. We all know, we all see every day playing out before us the negativity in the media. And that's what Americans think of when they think about Africa and Africans. We have to change that picture. The Africa Society of the National Summit on Africa is really pleased to partner with the African section of the African and Middle Eastern Division and the Poetry and Literature Center of the Library of Congress, for we believe in Africa's promise and potential and in showcasing its many contributions to the world. You know, our mission is to educate Americans of all ages about the countries, cultures, peoples, and contributions of the continent of Africa. And in executing our mission, we convene hundreds of programs with many partners. But this program is particularly meaningful for individuals like Keorapetse Kgositsile. Not only are artists who shape people's perceptions, they are, in fact, effective political change agents who are using their craft to awaken the consciousness of others. South Africa's poet laureate has not only impacted the country of his birth, he has also been a prophet for Africa and the United States and a bridge between our country and the continent at a critical time in our history. We are so very proud to be a part of this program. Your presence today inspires us, and it reminds us yet again of all we have learned from Africa's sons and daughters, and reminds us also that art and political activism are a powerful combination. We are delighted to have you with us. Thank you very much. And now, Rob, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, I'm Rob Kasper, the head of the Poetry and Literature Center at the Library of Congress. Mary Jane Deeb was less insistent than I will be, because I know how hard it will be for you to hear the conversation if you're sitting more than 3 rows back. So I really ask you that you move forward. We don't have, unfortunately, any amplification for the conversation. We had a little bit of a mic issue, so the reading will be well mic'd, but the conversation will not. So please do move forward if you can. Maybe take a second to move forward. It'll be worth it. Plus, you can have a new neighbor, you can say hi. It's a fun occasion. Sorry about the mic. We will be counting on the power of our reader and our interviewer to project, and for your strong and receptive ears. I want to say thanks to Mary Jane Deeb and Bernadette Paulo. They've been amazing partners, and I couldn't be more proud of our Conversations with African Poets and Writers series. This event would not be possible without 3 people in particular. E. Ethelbert Miller, who I know is here somewhere. He moved around. There he is, a poet from the DC area who put me in touch with Jeffrey Allen. Jeffrey Allen coordinated Mr. Kgositsile's tour around North America. And we actually put together this event with George Washington University, and I know there are several George Washington University students here. I want to thank Professor James Miller for helping us out and bringing his students here. I also want to tell you that we have 2 more events in the series, our Conversations with